if you're not getting the right answers, then you're asking the wrong questions. And he took that even further and said, don't just ask the questions, be the questions. And I really like that, because I think good teaching is all about asking questions to get people to think.
It tells me something important about life. Like I, as a reporter, ostensibly, like my job is to find answers. Like I go out and ask questions, find answers. And I sometimes slip into this sort of wrong idea that that's my job. I don't think that's my job. Obviously, it's more about the questions. But anyone can ask a question. What Scott's doing here is something categorically different. He's allowing the question to sort of possess him, to fill every cell in his body. Like it's become a physical act. Like the primary sound of the story is that, his feet hitting the pavement. Like the question has become his body. And like I think about Rilke writing a letter to a young poet. One of the letters he says to the young poet, don't just ask the question, be the question. Be the question. He repeats it over and over again. Be the question. So when I'm stuck, I think about that. Am I doing that? Am I putting all my nerve endings into this question? Am I pursuing it past the point of reason? Because I really do feel like nothing gets good until it stops being reasonable.
Hey guys, what I found most inspiring about Jad's keynote was his storytelling ability, and he really did bring Radiolab to life through his keynote. If you listen to Radiolab and you listen to his keynote, the synchronicity of both of them together was, he did exactly what he would do in Radiolab. But one of the cool things, and I think people didn't notice it, was his use of the technology, how he brought other people's voices into the keynote, and how he was almost doing interviews with those people through his keynote. But then one of my biggest takeaways was him talking about it not necessarily being the end goal, but the journey to get to the end goal. And for educators to remember that journey for our students is probably more important than the end goal.
I felt like the paths were much clearer. Like, in order to get to a place where you are living a purposeful life, whatever that means, you had places you could look to help you with that. Nowadays, kids get out into the world and there are things have splintered. There's thousands and thousands of options. They all seem equivalent. None of them seem to pay the way that they used to. And so what you see is kids in their 20s are just bouncing from one thing to another, switching careers 3, 4, 5 times, which means a decade, sometimes a decade and a half of uncertainty and anxiety. How do you prepare people for that? Like, I have no idea. I have no idea, but I think it has something to do with commitment. Helping them commit, not to a job or a career, to any particular thing, but to the larger questions that wrap around all of that, which is, okay, what are the 8, 10 ways of living a meaningful life? What does it mean to be a good citizen? What does it mean to be an adult right now? These are the questions which I feel like no matter what subject you're teaching, you're actually addressing that question always. And I wish that had been the case when I was going through school. It was never actually presented that way.
Yeah, so I really loved how he was inspiring people to take risks, and how he's saying like every 3, in his case, podcasts or discussions, you have to really take a risk. And he talked about the forest, the scary forest, and that people have to venture out to the scary forest and out of their comfort zone. I really like that, because I think that's when the most fun, innovative things happen.
People, there is a utility in that negative mind state, because you do need, obviously you need moments where you're feeling good and you're creating great dreams, but you also need moments where you realize those aren't good enough yet. And so what the negativity does is it acts as a kind of thrust to push you through that first idea and second idea until you get to the 13th idea that's really novel. So that negativity actually exists for a reason, I deeply believe. But again, this is something I wish somebody had taught me, that there is a usefulness to feeling bad.